you hear that, lady? Just heard a lady outside say, my eyebrows are itchy and I couldn't understand why. I'm really frustrated today and lately because obviously I've been trying to move and I've been looking at places, and I think earlier in this video I had gone and looked in North Hollywood, and that's definitely still an option. The only thing is I realized I would like to be a little bit closer, but because yeah, it's North Hollywood, but it's like right kind of on the border of like Valley Glen and like Sherman Oaks, Van Nuys, and like that's fine, but it's safer the closer you get to like the NoHo Arts District. Not that this really means anything to most people, but I mean it's still an option for me to move to that place. The building was great, like everything seemed okay. Hey! But yeah, so I'm very frustrated, and I'm worried about the whole apartment thing. Kind of the worst toy I've ever purchased because it's so annoying. I don't even like really want to talk about it because it's so stressful and it's just taken so much out of me, but like I wanted to move a year ago, you know, I only wanted to live in this apartment for a year. I mean, I didn't know that when I moved in. Obviously I signed a year lease, but like I learned over the course of the year living here that I didn't want to live here anymore. And so last year at this time, I mean over a year now, I was looking at places. I found a place that I really liked. I was going to move into it. It was in Sherman Oaks. And then they fucked me over and they still have my deposit, which I never got back, which I should have gotten back because it's not like at the last second I was like, oh, never mind, I'm not going to move in. It was the guy who was living in the unit who put in his notice to vacate. He decided to rescind that, and so he didn't leave, so then the unit wasn't open, so I couldn't move in. And they were like, well, we'll have another one open like in a month and a half, and I was like, well, I need to move now. At that time my landlord wasn't going to let me go month to month, so I was like, well, I either have to move now or I have to like live in this place for a whole other year, so like that's not gonna work. So I was like, fuck, now I have to find another place. And I had spent so much time driving and looking at apartments. I don't know, it just takes a long time to do that where I live. That place never gave me my deposit back, right? And that's not what this is about. I mean, I tried to get it back. Something really weird happened and they completely changed their management and rebranded. Like they're not even, it used to be called The Grand and now it's called like Veda or something. And like that happened like right around the time that they had my deposit, and like literally within like 5 days of me emailing back the girl who I was contacting, the person that I was like sending all my pay and like my financial information, my application stuff. I emailed her like 5 days after and I'm like, hey, just wanted to know when I should expect the deposit because like, you know, I wanted to know what address to put. And she replied and she was like, sorry, but I no longer work for the Grand. And I was like, okay. So I tried to just like email a different person that worked there, and then I never heard back. And then like 2 weeks later, I'm like, okay, it probably should have come by now if they actually mailed it on that day. I looked into like the legal stuff. Technically, they have like, I think 4 weeks legally to get your deposit back. So I was like, okay, I'll wait. That came and went. Like 6 weeks later, I tried to contact them again and they're like, sorry, like we're all new management now, like I'm not sure who you put the deposit with, but like blah blah blah. So basically I was like, okay, well I'm gonna get lawyers involved and all this stuff, and then they just like ghosted me. I talked to my dad about it and he was like, well at this point you're gonna have to probably go through small claims court, and he was like, it's honestly just not worth it. Like it is a lot of mental energy to go through any sort of like legal process. Obviously, long story short, I didn't end up moving. As far as I know, I've been going month to month, although my rent has gone up twice now. So I don't really know how that's possible. But now that it's been another year and I've now been living here for 2 years, I mean obviously the past few months I've been looking, and especially the past month I've been like, I mean actually the whole year I've been still getting emails, availabilities and stuff like that. I have to take a break from like actively looking for apartments and just chill and just stay here for a minute, and like, cause I, you know, especially last year I was going through a lot. So June of this year I started like actively actually going and looking at apartments and spending a lot of my time. Like it's been like honestly like a 30-hour a week process, and that's just like the active part. Like the part where I'm like online researching and doing all that stuff, oh my gosh, like absolutely a full-time job. And I guess I'm just like, I'm scared. I mean, I think it was earlier in this video I was super excited because, you know, I haven't even given that guy my application yet because I went home, you know, the next day I was looking more into it and looking into other places that are closer, you know, not so far out in the valley, and just like realizing, okay, it's safer to be a little closer. Just having like second and third and fourth thoughts, and just like I think it's honestly a result of my experience living here for the past 2 years. I'm just so scared to go somewhere that's not gonna be good. But like the problem with that is it's not like I can afford a luxury apartment where you pretty much know it's gonna be good. You know, like it's 5-star reviews all around. Like what I can afford is not luxury, and that's why I'm looking more out in the valley, because it is less expensive than, you know, downtown or Hollywood or pretty much anywhere. And so it's hard, it's scary. It's like today I'm like really getting really, I don't even know how I feel. Sad, anxious, upset, like a little depressed, honestly, angry. I feel weird even talking out loud right here. That's why I'm like being quiet, because my windows are open because it's fucking hot here and I don't have AC. And like I feel like someone can hear me. But my landlord here is like the fucking devil. I mean, you guys know I've done like a couple stories about it, and she literally, this woman owes me like somewhere between $10,000 and $20,000 that I'm never gonna get back. And I also have a feeling that I'm not gonna get my security deposit back. I don't know why, but I have a feeling. And yesterday I got a note on my door, and on the outside of like the envelope there was a sticky note, and it was like, well, first of all, my rent went up this month, right? The amount that I'm paying for this shithole, I talked about it on Patreon, I talked about the numbers and everything, but like, you would shit your pants. And I was already paying too much when I moved here 2 years ago, and it's now gone up $300 a month plus utilities. And there's no AC, so like, why are my utilities always so expensive? I don't know. Plus internet and all that stuff, which like I know a lot of people probably pay for their internet separately, but a lot of the apartments I've been looking at actually include internet and at least like water, so that's cool. But anyway, so on the outside of this envelope that I got on my door, it was a sticky note, and it was like, first of all, reminding me about the rent increase, which I paid right before I filmed this, so that's why I'm like, it's just so painful to like submit thousands of dollars. I'm like whispering, I'm sorry. I'm just paranoid, like rightfully so, which you'll see in a second. But you know, paying rent, it's never fun, but like today I was really just like, this is insane. Like, my shower has been clogged for like 2 months and no one's fixed it. On the outside was the reminder of the rent increase, and then it also said, please pay for April, May, June, and July, $40 each month, $160 for a liability fee. And I'm like, what the fuck is a liability fee? What does that even mean? A couple months back, I remember getting a letter saying like, if you don't have renter's insurance, then every month you gotta pay a $40 fee of like liability, because you're not required to have renter's insurance here, which I wish I would have gotten when I first moved in. I didn't get it till the second year because I bought it. Hey, I didn't get it till last July or June because I bought it because the place that I was gonna move requires it, which I think this place, like knowing what I know now, oh my gosh, I feel like number one, it should be required everywhere. Number two, even if it's not, get it, it's worth it. But I didn't have that for the first year. So the notice was basically like, if you don't have insurance, then you have to pay this liability fee, basically trying to cover their asses because this is a shithole. And I'm like, I have fucking insurance. Why am I having to pay this liability fee? Like, okay. So I told her that. And she's like, you have to pay it, and then when you move out, we'll refund it all. And I'm like, that's fucking hilarious. Because for some reason I doubt that, you know? I don't see that happening. And that was just the sticky note on the outside of the envelope. I'm like, what could possibly be on this envelope? In fact, this was put on my door while I was filming a couple days ago. If I still have it, I know, because I was just looking at it when I was editing yesterday. I heard something like going on outside. This is what was on my door. Maybe it's just reminding me of the rent increase. This is the weirdest shit. Like, I've got like weird and fucked up and shady shit has happened here, but this is just like, okay, what? Where did you even pull that out of? Like, this is the lady who gave me an eviction notice last year and made me pay a $500 court fee. Put an eviction notice on my door because I didn't pay rent, which, by the way, I have until the 5th of the month to pay rent. It was the 6th of the month, okay? The reason I didn't pay rent is because I was withholding it, because I had carbon monoxide poisoning in my apartment that hadn't been addressed. No battery in my carbon monoxide detector. So many repairs that needed to be done. And this was around the time that my car got broken into, and she stole and threw away 3 loads of my laundry. So yeah, I fucking withheld rent, okay, while I was figuring shit out. I ended up having to pay that court fee. So that because she went through and actually filed the, what is it called? Unlawful detention. What? Did you do that like before I even didn't pay rent? Like, it's insanity. And I just fucking paid it because I was like, I'm gonna leave this place. Like, just fuck all of this. So this basically says 7-day notice to perform or quit. Violation of the rental agreement and tenant habitability obligations. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? 7-day notice to perform or quit what? Because like there's a few things that it could be, right? I'm like so angry. In summary, it's saying I'm in violation of a California civil code. It says to keep the part of the premises which he occupies clean and sanitary, to dispose from his dwelling unit of all rubbish, garbage, and other waste, blah blah blah, to fix and operate, to properly use and operate all electrical, gas, and plumbing fixtures and keep them as clean and sanitary as their condition permits. My shower is clogged. That's the only thing I can think of in this case. But like, I put in the maintenance request, so that would be weird, right? And then just, it's basically about like damage, cleanliness, using things as they're intended. So I'm like, what are they trying to tell me that I'm doing? Like, according to this, it could be so many things, but like, none of them are valid. I vacuum every day, okay? I just spent a long time deep cleaning yesterday. I clean a lot. The only thing I could think of is like, what is it? Plumbing fixtures, electrical and gas stuff, clean and sanitary as their condition. Okay, my shower's clogged, but I've been telling them for so long. Okay, so there's more. The next page, it says, it's come to the attention of management that you are not living up to your obligation as it relates to paragraph 10 of the lease contract. The unit is reported to be unsanitary and poses a health concern for the building and neighboring apartment homes. This correspondence shall serve as an official request to correct the aforementioned deficiency within 7 calendar days. And then they scheduled an inspection on the 11th. To cure, the unit must be cleaned and sanitized. I clean like 3 times. I clean every day, but like, I like deep clean shit like 3 times a week because I have to, because there's no airflow in here, so it gets dusty quick, it gets dirty quick. Like, I'm just like, and then it says, within 7 days after this service of this notice, you are required to either remove trash, clean and sanitize unit, or deliver possession of the premises to the resident manager or the undersigned who is authorized to receive the same. So like, move out. If you fail to clean and sanitize your unit, or if you fail to deliver possession of the premises to the resident manager, then legal proceedings shall be commenced against you to recover possession of the premises. To declare your lease forfeited, which by the way, I've been going month to month for a year now, blah blah blah, recover rental damages for your unlawful possession. Bitch. I'm so angry. Like, after I caught her throwing away my stuff, after my car got broken into, I was like, okay, this bitch better stop trying me and like doing not lawful things, like literally trying to evict me for something that was, I didn't pay rent because they weren't fixing shit, and that's their job to do that. I couldn't live in here. I was showering at my sister's place. My toilet was clogged for so long. Oh my god. So the past few months before this, I'm like, okay, things have been pretty quiet. No one's telling me like to leave or like to, I don't know, no one's fucking with me, right? But when I got this, I was like, oh, it's like insane at this point. Like, it's stupid. Like, you have pushed your luck so much. You've already gotten so much of my money that you shouldn't have had, that I shouldn't have had to pay. Failed to like protect me as a tenant. You threw away my fucking clothes while I was in the hospital. I had carbon monoxide poisoning. My shit is clogged. Like, I'm sorry, what? Give this notice to yourself. I don't get it. Like, I don't get it. They'll bring judicial action against me. So on the 11th is the inspection. I'm like, if you inspect it and find that my shower is clogged, how is that my fucking fault? Like, my first thought when I read this was like, okay, I guess I'll hire a professional cleaning crew to come and like literally deep clean everything. But then I was like, no, I don't have to do that. Like, that doesn't make sense. And then also I'm like, wait, this was put on my door a couple days ago. No one from management has been in my apartment for like 2 months when they were doing their like routine checkup on my batteries and like making sure my stove and everything worked. So I'm like, wait, this doesn't make sense. If they're trying to say that, if they're trying to say any of this is true, which first of all it isn't, second of all, even if it were, like, let's say it was like fucking like a disaster in here, like hoarding, like just shit everywhere, like literally like the dirtiest pigsty ever. Let's just say that it was like that in here. How did they know that without going inside? If 2 months ago, a couple days after they did the inspection while I was in here, because I was home when they did it, if I had gotten this then, I might be like, okay, obviously they were in here and they saw something that they didn't like, which also, again, the only thing was the shower, which I told them about, and I was like, yeah, I put in a request like 2 weeks ago. I've since put in like 3 requests, by the way. Why did I get this a couple days ago on my door? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, even if it was dirty in here, even if it was like unsanitary and unsafe, which is bad, like, don't get me wrong, that would be bad, but how would they know if they didn't come in here without me knowing? Because that's also illegal. But like, there's so much illegal stuff going on. I hope you can hear me, I'm talking so quietly. So yeah, I opened this today and I was like, it just makes me feel sick. It makes me feel like they just keep trying to take advantage of me because I'm like the youngest person that lives here. It's been happening since I moved in. Like, I've literally been targeted so hard the whole time I've lived here. It's crazy. It's so crazy. It's weird. It's like draining me of all my energy. Like, the apartment search and all of that stuff, and like the stress that comes with like, alright, this is gonna be expensive because moving is expensive. That's stressful, but at least it's like, I know that when it's over, I'll be okay and I'll be able to make it work. But this is just like sucking energy out of me that like is for no purpose. That makes me so mad. Like, especially like literally right after I opened this, because I didn't open it yesterday because I was already having a really bad day and I knew that it was going to be bullshit. So I opened it today and it's the 5th, so I paid rent, or I knew I had to pay rent today. And I opened it right before, just like to make sure it wasn't like, I don't know what I was expecting. Hey, you don't have to pay rent this month. Thanks for being the tenant of the year, or the month. That would be tight. But, so I opened it and then I'm like, I read that and I see I just am like, and then I have to pay rent right after. Because the thing is, if I don't pay it today, then I know it'll be a late fee, you know, and then like I know I'm gonna end up having to pay it, and then like she'll probably try to evict me again, and then I'll have to pay more for court fees. Yeah, so damn, I didn't want to talk about that because it like really makes me upset. But let's see, what else can I update you on that might be exciting? There's really nothing. I mean, it's been consuming at least the past few weeks. Damn. She's giving me signs that she like is trying to kick me out. But like in doing that, she's keeping me here. Because if I have to pay all this bullshit, which is like what happened last year, I can't afford to put, I don't know. It's just like, anyway, I'm going to go on with my day now. You know how they say like, I don't know, like money is the root of evil, more money, more problems. Money can't buy you happiness. I agree to an extent. I mean, with certain people, but I don't know, it could literally solve all of my problems right now. Yeah, okay, well, this was such a downer. That might be the end of this video since I just talked for so long. No bites. No bites. Don't bite me. Ow! No. 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 Oh, jeez. Okay, I'm gonna go. Do you want a treat? Do you want some food? Get out of your bowl. You're standing in your bowl. Don't. You're standing in your bowl. Okay. You know, I should use my car mount more. I've only used it that one time with Courtney. Do I not have any gum left? But it's just pretty obnoxious, and the camera has to hang upside down. But it's hard to get on there. But I just haven't really been driving and vlogging lately, honestly. It's just been too much, you know? Actually, I don't even know why I'm vlogging right now, because I just had such a depressing talk with you all. I just have to walk by the office to get to my car, and like, I don't know, it made me angry. Just knowing that they were in there being meanies. I honestly don't even know what this video is, what this vlog is anymore. Like, I don't know. What is my hair doing? I don't know how I feel about my videos being in 4K now because like you can see everything. Love it.